Hello everyone and welcome back to PGP Motorsports Park for the 5th race of the winter season. You're joining us in LCQ, and as we're about to see here, Paulo ended up getting crashed out in one of the heat races, and so he's starting in last place of this LCQ. Now, if you've been keeping up with the series, you'll know that he's gotten first place in every single one of the races, and so I think here he's looking to get the most overtakes he possibly can in the race to overtake everyone in the LCQ and then go up into the final and overtake everyone there.
I gotta say, it's a tall order. Normally he's starting in first, now he's just starting opposite first.
Yep.
But our starting grid today, we got Thomas and William Frazier on the front row, followed by Daniel Charlton and Scott Miller. Those are our top four, and they are in position to make it to the final if they can keep those positions. In the hunt is... I'll get to that. Take it away.
Yeah, definitely some interesting names in this LCQ. A lot of people that we don't normally see down here. But as the green flag is up, we will see that the flag is waved and they're away. And already we're going to be kicking off. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Paulo as he dives out to the outside to see what he can get in the roller coaster. And it looks like he's already making like 3 places in turn 1, and he survives it. Oh wait, more than that.
Someone in the back there.
Someone spin out
Somebody
there.
spun out in the back. Somebody almost got... Oh, Timothy nearly got spun out.
Oh, who's that?
Chaos. That is Colin.
Yeah, someone spun out right in the middle of the light bulb.
So we got that spin to win energy today.
All right.
An update on the top 4. Thomas retains his lead. William retains second place. Scott and Daniel are the top 4 order, and they've kind of run away with it.
It looks like some momentum was dropped as someone goes into the back, someone there. Someone goes in real deep through there. And is that Paulo already halfway up the pack?
Nah, that's Daniel Charlton off in the mud. Down the back straight. And it took him half the back straight to get back on, unfortunate. So that promotes... Hard to see from this distance, but fortunately, we have timing screens. We have the technology.
Yeah, we'll get those updated as they cross the line there, and it looks like Paulo's already halfway up the field.
Yeah, Paulo's
in the first lap. There he is right there, crossing the line. Looking...
That is William and Besant contesting 4th place. So we have 2 Williams. William Yee is currently in 5th, fighting Besant for 4th. And William Frazier is the one who is currently in 3rd. So we have 2 Williams in the top 5.
Yeah, we have top 3 running away with it.
Happier.
Top 3 running away with it, 4th falling off, and then 5th place trying to possibly get a move there. And Paulo's already catching up to the back of that pack there. It looks like Timothy, he's on the back of.
Yep. Paulo on the back of Timothy. Timothy's one of the new racers out here, and he has the literal champion making a move. And Timothy overcooks it, and Paulo gets right on by.
Yeah, really free overtake right there. And Paulo's still moving up through as he goes through the chicanes, already catching up to the back of the 2 people in front on this back straight. Might get the move done before even the straight's over.
So all I saw Timothy on the timing sheet. All Paulo has to do is pass the 2 people in front of him, and he's secured his spot in the final.
And what are we in, lap 2?
Yeah, we're only in lap 2. We're getting on lap 3 now. The thing is, though, the people in front of Paulo are not pushovers. We have William, who is usually a front runner in the finals. And we have Besant, who is also no slouch, who is defending against 2 very experienced racers. Let's see how this pans out.
Yeah, before I'd be more on board with that, and I would think that the race would slow down, but keeping in mind that Paulo's won like literally the last 4 races in the final, I feel like Paulo is still just as likely to catch up and fly by these people there as he moves in for another overtake through light bulb. Oh, he's stuck on the outside, can't quite make it done.
And just tuck in through bus stop and wait for a better opportunity. The top 3 have kind of run off with it, simply because of all the fighting that Paulo's done. Paulo's really piling the pressure, though. He knows that all he has to do is pass Besant who's in front of him as he dips down the inside. He doesn't quite have it, the inside going into 5, out through 4, but he's going to have a better exit because Besant had to compromise himself through 4. Unfortunately...
It looks like just Paulo stuck behind him with that compromising position.
Down the inside, out, breaks him into 3.
No
and Paulo
cutback.
makes the move. Paulo, as it stands, will now make it in the final.
Yeah, it looks like someone behind's trying to pick up the pieces after that overtake, try to follow him through. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, though. It looks like the positions remain the same, possibly. Spin at turn 3.
Abigail and Tristan.
Well, now that Paulo's broken past, there's that 2-wide battle behind him, and so that's going to slow them down, so no chance of them ever catching up to Paulo there. And Paulo's going to now make his way towards those top 3, which the gap has been closing despite the traffic, which is just absolutely insane.
Honestly, the top 3, they can settle in. I know Scott's going to try to make a move on first eventually.
What are the lap times looking like between Paulo and the top 3?
Paulo's in 4th.
Yeah, lap times.
Oh, lap times. Let me get those up.
So we can see lap by lap pace. It's only been 2 laps, I think, or maybe 3 now.
Yep. Okay, so looking at the lap counters now, Paulo's lap time, his best lap is 0.3 faster than the others' best laps. So
Despite overtaking people through that?
Yep. So Paulo's definitely got pace. However, Vasant is not giving up.
True, Paulo did catch up to him, which I wasn't expecting. Or Vasant did catch up to him.
That's not Vasant, that's William.
Oh, William.
William is fighting Paulo for the last spot in the final. And if I know William, which I know William, he is going to fight Paulo and take the fight to Paulo. Because they know Paulo is signaling to William not to fight so hard so we can catch up to the top 3. Because we see William Frazier kind of separating from the top 2. He might be compromised if William and Paulo play smart and don't fight each other. So it's entirely possible William might just get eaten by both of them, depending on how it plays out. It's still relatively early stages in the race. It's a long race, so there's a lot to play for here. And I think that William might take an O from Paulo, because Paulo, they both have extreme pace, and they both see that William in front is starting to slow down just a bit. They might get a 2-for-1 special, and William Frazier in 3rd might want to watch out.
Yeah. Yeah, if William knows that Paulo's in this race, I wonder if he's aware to the fact that people are catching up to him quickly, and that it's very likely that he won't make it into the final if Paulo and William are able to get by him.
Yeah, William Frazier, who's currently in 3rd, is in a kind of a predicament spot. He doesn't want to push too hard because he doesn't feel like he has to, but that gap is closing really fast. William Frazier is in danger from Paulo and William Yee right behind him. That gap has closed almost half a second per lap.
Yeah, I'm getting like the mental imagery of like a Lovecraftian beast just hovering behind William Frazier. And he just doesn't know what lurks beneath the depths and what's about to fly past him.
Yeah, in a space.
Yeah, and there it is. On the inside of Lightbulb, the double overtake is done. Both Paulo and William... Well, actually, no. William's holding on the inside there. William Yee is going to try to go around the outside. And it doesn't quite work out. William Frazier gets passed up. Yeah, William passed Paulo through expertly on that pass with William Frazier. William Frazier did do a good job fighting back. He gave William Yee inopportune lines, but despite that, William Yee just had the pace to fly by him on the outside and get in front of him before bus stop.
Worth noting is that Paulo and William have stepped on the gas. They are setting 78s when everyone else is setting 79s.
And we see the leaders here, the top 2. The gap still closing tremendously quickly. I think Paulo and William are probably going to end up flying by these 2 and ending up leading the race and possibly giving us a battle once they pass them.
And Scott Miller makes a move for first, dives down the inside, and actually brilliant move by Scott Miller to take the lead of the race, putting Thomas in 2nd, and that lets Paulo and William Yee catch right back up, and Paulo's already in the fray. Paulo getting past Thomas, but he's on the outside going, you don't want to be on the outside, the top of the world. He's going to have to relinquish the position going back into bus stop, but now Thomas knows that the top 4 positions are now heavily contested amongst themselves.
This is the closest between the top 4 I've ever seen.
Yeah, William Frazier in 5th is probably hoping that the battle in front of him explodes so he can really capitalize on any mistakes made as the top 4 fight amongst themselves.
Yeah, William Frazier's doing a really good job at keeping him honest.
Oh, yeah. So top 4 as it stands now. Scott Miller, Thomas Heacock makes a move down the inside, and
Paulo's going to follow him through.
That's another 2-for-1 special.
Now it's 2x2, almost looking like another formation lap as they grid up here going around turn 2, but then they fall back into line. Paulo now up into 2nd place, passing Scott.
That's the inside move.
And then just like that,
he's again Thomas fight back.
Back into the lead.
Inside. Thomas on the outside. They are side by side going into turn 1. We got a 2x2 action going into turn 1. Scott also takes the inside. And I can't see it. And as the dust settles,
everyone survives and Paulo's in the lead.
Paulo, Scott, William Yee, Thomas, William Frazier is how it panned out.
Yeah, William Frazier's right behind him, and he's looking to get that spot, because William Frazier can count, obviously, so he knows he's in 5th and needs to take out. He needs to pass, or not take out. You don't want to do that here. You want to pass one of these people to get that spot into the final. But all these people are regular finalists, so none of them are willing to let go, and they have the skills to make that happen.
Yeah, everyone in the top 5 is normally in the final, so you don't want to be 5th in this top 5 because that means you're eliminated. You still get championship points, just not nearly as many as you'd get if you were in the final. So it's up to William Frazier to keep his head in the game and keep up with the top 4 as they all pressure each other. I don't see many gaps forming.
Yep, so how far are we into this race? Because Paulo from last place to first took how many laps? Like 4 or 5 laps?
They are currently 8 laps into, I lost count of how many laps. I'd say there's about 12 laps, so we're about 2/3 through. We're going to start entering the closing stages of the race shortly. So we're going to try to keep up the best I can.
It's not like we didn't expect this to happen, but it's still amazing seeing it being done.
Oh, yeah.
And now Paulo's going to have another challenge, provided there's no unusual mistakes and, somehow he doesn't make it into the final, which I doubt will happen. Commentators curse and all that stuff.
Speaking of commentators curse, Paulo can win this race, yes, but that just means he's starting 4th from last in the final, which is the best he can do as of right now, given the circumstances.
Yeah, he'll be starting 21st.
He's going to have a lot of races in front of him to slow him down and possibly make him mistakes.
I know, and more experienced racers at that, because these are the people that are in the finals. At the moment, he was racing the people who didn't make it top 10 in the heat.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy to see what happens in the final now that we have these front runners starting from the back. So, if anything, this is just, I guess, sample testing for what would happen if there was reverse grids.
Yeah, this is the reverse grid race, but it's only Paulo.
William going down the inside of Scott, gonna see if he can take 2nd place away. Scott on the outside has better momentum. William has to brake a little early, doesn't quite make it stick. All 4 racers at the top showing good discipline. They know they're in the closing stages of the race. It's a lot more risky to make moves now. And when you're already secured the top 4, William Frazier dropping back in 5th, you don't need to fight as hard because you have a lot more to lose than you have to gain. So, of course, any position overtaken here is only going to help you in the final, but you have the final as well.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the battle between Scott and William here. Unfortunately, William Frazier is starting to fall off a little bit, not quite keeping up with the pace.
Yeah, it's unfortunate from William Frazier, unable to capitalize on a lot of things.
Yeah, best he can do is keep him honest.
Pressuring Scott, as well he should, to get every advantage he can. But it doesn't seem like Paulo's really pulling away that much. Scott is playing a little more defensively, I think, letting Paulo kind of get away to make sure he secures 2nd place. Because at this point in the game, it's William snooping on the inside again. Can he make it work this time? They're side by side going in the roller coaster. William
makes the pass, it looks like.
And makes the pass on Scott.
Yeah,
So
very good work on his part.
Paulo, William Yee, Scott, and Thomas are our top 4 that will be moving to the final as it stands.
Yep, no flags out yet, so they still got a bit more racing to do. William Fraser, all he has to do is try to stay as close to them as possible. If Scott is looking to have more battles, in fact, it looks like Scott's even falling off the pace a little bit, but he's probably still just recovering the momentum he lost from being overtaken. You lose a lot from being overtaken, and not just the position, but just overall speed in general.
If you're off the pace or you're just defending, because Scott's now in 3rd, he can afford to drop back behind Thomas, although that's going to sting quite a lot. He'll still make it to the final, but given how William is pulling away, it looks like Scott probably would be defending a little bit more than attacking, especially since Thomas right behind him has really good pace. All 4 in the top have really good pace. William Yee might actually make a move on first.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. He's like right on him down the front straight.
Yeah, we got Thomas on Scott for 3rd and William on Paulo for 1st in this LCQ.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of small battles in the back that we haven't been able to cover.
Yeah,
because the top 4.
Well, there's just so much drama with having Paulo in LCQ that we just have to keep all eyes on everything that happens here.
I will say, just a shout out to Colin Flynn and Giuseppe, sorry. He told me how to pronounce his name in the paddock, so I'm gonna try my best. It's Giuseppe. Wow, that's a triple whammy. My bad. Those two have been battling all race, and from my point of view, they're just going back and forth. So those two are having a good race for 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I'll keep.
Just because you're not in the top 4 doesn't mean you can't have a good race out here.
Yeah, and that's always the battle too. It's like, sure, you might not win, but you can always race to make just that one extra position than you did before. You can always get that little bit faster of a lap time. You can do that little bit less of spinning in a race.
White flag is out. Final lap.
Yeah, as they go around the circuit one more time, it looks like the field's gotten a little bit spread out here. It looks like it's all but guaranteed the 4 finalists will be Paulo, William Yee, Scott Miller, and Thomas Heacock.
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah, as they both dive into their 2x2 battles, I wonder if William Yee is going to try to do a little bit of an overtake just before the line. He's been sticking right on the tail of Paulo very impressively throughout this whole thing, because William Yee also started near the back, right?
Yeah. William Yee started in the middle, actually. So Paulo and William I would consider them both front runners in the final. We've seen William on the podium.
Yeah, we have.
So they're all really good racers. Also, quick shout out to William Fraser for sticking it in, coming in 5th. And Daniel Charlton, my old rival from several years ago, he's coming in 6th. So far, everyone seems to be sticking it in, but Paulo rounding turn 2, gonna round turn 1. They're going the reverse direction today. That's why the turn numbers are reversed.
Yeah, we're gonna see if William Yee pulls out to try to get a last second overtake across the line, but no, he just holds the position. Paulo crosses and wins. And it looks like
the timing screen. Thomas picked him at the line. Thomas with a last turn overtake takes 3rd place away from Scott Miller.
Great work from Thomas to get that last little position. They're going to be starting 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in the final, and we'll see them there once that final begins. Hello everyone, and welcome to the final. Here we are right up to the LCQ where Paulo climbed from last to 1st, and now we have all 24 racers getting gridded up, slowing down for that, and in the first of this grid is Sergey. Now if you remember the last race, there were 21 overtakes between him and Paulo, but the difference is for this race is instead of them racing side by side and having a glorious battle through it all, Paulo needs to catch up from all the way back here in 21st place, starting on the left side here in this rolling start.
Am I right?
Yeah, lucky 21, although I don't think Paulo needs luck for this. He showed incredible amounts of skill in the LCQ, and I don't doubt that he'll be showing the same thing in this race. Tell me more about the grid.
All right, so starting in pole position, we got Sergey. So the whole grid is Sergey. In second is Carmine. They both did really well in their respective races. They're followed by Alex, Kurt. Not just forget his name, I'm racing him. Ryan Gowan. There we go in the green helmet.
Yeah, that's Ryan. I see Davidson somewhere in there.
And they're rearing their back, so it's hard to tell. I'll get more names for you shortly. But congratulations to everyone who started here. Let's take it away.
So now they're rolling across the front straight of the grid. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Paulo for obvious reasons. But now the flag will be raised in the air. And then the flag's waved in their way. Already we can see Paulo on the left side. He doesn't quite have that clean outside getaway like he did in the LCQ. So we'll see what he does with it. Looks like he's already pulling alongside Manny in the back there, and I hear some contact somewhere in the barrier, but looks like some people are off-roading, which you probably don't want to do. There's no shortcuts allowed on this track. Who's in the... Oh my goodness, there's so much chaos.
Paulo's not in it. That's Manny in the back. That might be everyone's trying to get going.
So many people start. Oh, poor Manny trying to go up the hill on a wet day. But no, we need to get back to the racing. So Paulo already securing a lot of positions. It looks like if he's not one of those guys in there.
Yeah, Paulo.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, I see him.
Back of the mid pack. So there's a lot of chaos happening.
Oh my goodness! Look how 4 wide, 5 wide going into these sequence of turns. That's a whole cluster of Skittles right there. And are they going to all make it all the way through? And how will Paulo try to get through that? I think I'm zooming in on him there, or that could be someone else.
While we're focusing on Paulo, we have 3 wide in the lead.
Oh my goodness, is Sergey part of that?
So Sergey
is in the lead.
Carmine and Alex all fighting for the lead at once. This is insane.
And there's a 4th person trying to join in.
And Ryan Gowan tries to sneak in on the inside. This is going to let Sergey get away with the lead. And now we have 3 wide fighting for second. Spencer wants a piece of that action too.
There's already crazy racing in the final, and a final where Paulo is carving his way up through the mid-pack. Impressively, there's just so much to keep track of here.
Yeah, everybody notices Paulo's no longer spearheading the race. It's all to play for, and they all want a piece of that glory.
Yeah, this is their chance to get on the podium, because, like, how could Paulo make it from last place to first? Well, we already saw it in the last chance qualifying, and we're already starting to see it here. What are we, in lap 2, and he's already halfway through the pack?
Yes.
I think he's going for, like, a record number of overtakes this race.
Okay, so now that they're coming where I can see him, sun shining bright. Roll call. We got Sergey, Alex, Carmine, followed by Spencer, Ryan, Kirk. Oh no, I did not just forget his name. That is James Kemp in the red monster helmet. David, Thomas, that's our top 9. Wait, where'd Alex go? Did Alex drop back to 10th? It looks like he did. Alex was in the front. What happened? I missed it.
There's so much happening in this race, especially with that big chaos ball at the start.
That's Steven Barrett. They both have red race suits. My bad. Red race suit, white helmet, GoPro. Oopsies, my bad.
And it looks like Sergey's still leading the charge, but now someone's pushing the back of him. As they all zoom by, it's just quite the sight to see so many karts like racing in close combat here as they battle it out, zooming across the straight, going so many wide through there. We already saw that Skittles bag earlier on going into that turn like 4 or 5 wide.
Stop, there's a spin, there's a big crash!
Oh, but...
They all avoid Steven!
Oh my goodness.
Brilliant avoidance from everyone in the back. That could have been really bad, but excellent discipline and car control, observation from everybody in racing.
Yeah, I saw that car super slow in there, and everyone just avoided him somehow. Yeah, it was magic.
It was in the middle of the track. That's not quite the racing line, so it was relatively easier to...
It looks like someone's making a move for the lead. Sergey's holding it out, but he's on the inside line.
And then Ryan's got the deep inside, gets the door closed on him by Spencer, who's in second, finds his way through.
There's 3 wide, it looks like, for a second there, which is why Sergey was able to get away with that compromised momentum, but never mind about getting away, because now it's 3 wide for the lead.
This is... In the lead, we got, I can't tell. We got so many cars all battling for the lead. We just have a giant...
They're just setting up for another formation lap. What's going on?
And it looks like Sergey came out on top, and Ryan took second.
What is this? How are people doing NASCAR pack racing in a circuit like this? There's lefts and rights.
Ryan dives down the inside, opportunistic move, takes the lead of the race, and leaves Sergey in the dust.
That is such a huge gap with that opportunistic move there because, like I said, it's just pack racing out here with all these different curves and turns, and Paulo just might be stuck in traffic here.
Paulo's stuck in traffic, but he's still in the fight. Anything's possible, but Ryan is getting away with it.
Yeah, there's probably some hunt in the sun tactics going on because that sun is real bright shining down on them. It can be hard to see, and that's probably why some of the mistakes were made earlier on in the race, but people are getting accustomed to it, and people are racing hard with it.
Yeah, so sunlight glare is a thing, and now we see the Sergey train just backing up behind Ryan, who is probably loving this.
Yeah,
Ryan
huge
has
gap
about
between
half second
first and
lead.
Sergey.
Sergey defending second, but Spencer finds his way around the outside of three. Sergey might be compromised. Yeah, getting passed around the outside of three means there's probably something compromised with Sergey. He might have gotten his tires overcooked from making too many moves. And now that's okay, we got Ryan in first, Spencer in second, Sergey retains third place, followed by James Kemp and Thomas Heacock. Paulo is in sixth!
Paulo already in the top 10, and
Oh no, someone went off!
are we even halfway into the race? Oh, someone overcooked it on the brakes, spun it out. That's a classic lockup backwards into the roller coaster. It can happen, especially in the heat of the racing.
Yeah, that's really hard to control through turn one. So those controlled overtakes in turn one from the LCQ, if you lock up too hard, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, looks like he's playing it safe. He doesn't want to run into anyone on the racing line.
Yeah, good safety from him.
Yeah, unfortunate that his race is over, but
So
we still got some brilliant racing going on here, as it looks like now.
Kemp's making a move on Sergey through turn 5, but you gotta make the move, because if you don't, that just compromises you to get eaten down the back straight, as now James is under fire from both Thomas and Paulo. 3 wide through 3!
That is absolutely insane. They all hold it together, it looks like.
So yeah, this Sergey bottleneck, Sergey has decided he is going to, you shall not pass. Sergey's taking third place, he has declared. Good luck getting by him, as Thomas makes a move and gets side by side by Sergey past Sebastian. Wow, Sebastian's in there too. And Paulo is being very calm and collected, made his way through the pack, and is 6th place, which is incredible based on where he started.
Yeah, moving up to 6th. We've seen a race where he started 6th, and we thought that would be an interesting race, but he's really proven it to us where, like at the beginning of the race, he's just a master. He knows how to carve through the chaos. Now that things are settling down, he's probably having to employ a little bit more strategy and tactics with these people, learning the people in front of him so that way he can get the most opportune pass. Because it looks like he's stuck behind, who right now? Looks like Thomas, no?
Who are we looking at? Sorry, I was checking the standings.
I'm checking to see who's behind, who Paulo is behind.
Paulo is behind Thomas Heacock.
Oh wow, he also...
And in front, moves are being made on Sergey, who refuses to let anyone by. Sergey is a cork in the bottle.
Yeah, he is. His first and second are just running away with it. It looks like Ryan still has the lead.
Paulo's carving his way through. It is Paulo side by side, but right behind Sebastian. Thomas is caught on the outside. Paulo's gonna dive, see what the inside, but Paulo makes it through. So, quick standing update as somebody just takes the Mario Kart Ultra shortcut. That is the Ultra S shortcut.
Oh yeah, I see that right there.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, no shortcuts are allowed in the race. He tries to rejoin. It looks like it's somewhat unsafe.
You need a mushroom to do that.
Yeah, there's no item shortcuts here.
That's unfortunate. Something might have gone wrong.
And I think you might be onto something with the mushroom, because you got to be high if you think you can do that.
Hold up. Was that Carmine that just went by? Was it Carmine that got in a early incident? Because he was leading the race at some point. That's unfortunate. I didn't realize who had spun. But there was a lot of chaos in this race. Anything's up for grabs.
Yeah, especially with
Here we
this.
see Sebastian making a move. Turn 3. This is for third place. And Sebastian gets it done. However, the 2-for-1 special from Thomas, who snipes third place away again.
Thomas doing really good. In fact, Paulo was right behind him. How did Thomas do that?
So we're in the mid stages of the race. Quick update, Ryan's still in first, Spencer's still in second, but following third, that is Thomas, Sebastian, Sergey.
Now Paulo's behind Sergey.
Paulo. Todd and Paulo are side by side going in a roller coaster. It looks like Todd's going to have the upper hand. So Paulo's having a fight tooth and nail behind that. I think that's James Kempf in the red helmet. It is.
Yeah, Paulo's having quite a harder time getting through here, especially with the Sergey train special causing all sorts of chaos.
Yeah, Sergey's slowly dropping back. Sergey told me in the paddock he really hates having to drive defensively like this, but it's what you have to do given the circumstances as Todd tries to make his way by, but doesn't, but that opens the door for another 2-for-1 pass on Sergey! Oh no!
Sergey's just hemorrhaging positions at the moment, and Paulo has gotten past him.
Yeah,
I thought
Sergey.
that Paulo would be overtaking Sergey for the lead, but no, Paulo's only overtaking him for what, like 4th place here?
Yeah, Sergey defended too hard against Todd, but that opened the door for for James and Paulo to slip right on by. So now Paulo has clean air right behind James. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Paulo is now in 6th place.
He's still in 6th place after all that?
After all that. This is incredible. And if Paulo can get by James, who's ahead of him, he'll be in 5th. So next up in the Sergey chopping block is David and Alex. Those are the people caught up in the Sergey train. I bet Ryan and Spencer are loving this. This is a nice sunny day. They're 1st and 2nd respectively. Thomas is in 3rd, fending off Sebastian from 4th. Now bear in mind, Sebastian's used to winning races, and he's gonna be probably piling on the pressure on Thomas in the closing stages. Now
to try to get that podium. Looks like someone's pulling into the pits right now.
Carmine pulling in. I think Carmine's just done with the day, which is understandable. Starting from the front of the pack in the front row and just getting caught up in a big incident all the way back in the back, I can understand why you just want to call it a day.
Yeah, at the moment, Sergey's still in it. He's holding on to every position he can.
Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy racing incidents today, like in the heat race when Paulo got crashed out, which is why he was starting from the back. So that's what happens in racing.
Yeah.
But here, back to the Sergey train.
Back to the Sergey train. People are going too wide behind Sergey, which is always what kicks things off, but it looks like
Alex found his way past David, who is being fought by Stephen Barrett. And behind them is Isabel Kempf. So that's kind of rounding out our top 10.
Yeah. Yeah, now the leaders are really running away with it, but Paulo is also running away with it behind James Kempf. He needs to find that extra energy in him to get those extra overtakes if he wants to win the race. Or maybe, in a season, there is a dropped race. He might not go for that perfect so many wins in a row, and this could be what ends the streak today.
Now the thing is, he could still technically get another perfect season if he just wins the rest of the races in the season, simply because one race does get dropped from the championship.
I know, but
if your worst finish is a 6th place, then you're still worthy of that championship title. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, that is true, but there's also just like that pride thing of like just having so many wins in a row, and that streak being broken is just really unfortunate because he's won so many races even from last season to where he's like, what, 8, 9 wins in a row now?
Yeah, the quest for perfection and absolute domination is an elusive one, and I would wager an impossible one, but here we see a battle for 3rd going into roller coaster. This is Spencer versus Thomas. Thomas defending 3rd from Spencer.
Yep.
Wait, just kidding, that's 2nd. They caught up to 2nd. Wait a minute, they didn't catch up, they overtook. That's Thomas overtook Spencer for 2nd right underneath my nose.
Wow.
The race is not over, fellas.
That is so impressive. And it looks like Thomas might be going for the win because this would be his chance for it with Paulo not sitting in that spot right now. And then, of course, Ryan going for his win. Would these be these two guys' first wins of finals?
I believe so for the new season. Ryan has won races way back in the day, but not under this format. Also, worthy of note, Thomas, who is in second, his fastest lap is 1 second faster than Ryan's fastest lap. Ryan, who has been running away with us.
So
we are in the
Thomas is flying.
but if both of them put their pedals to the metal, we might see a battle for the lead in the final laps.
That'd be absolutely crazy and a joy to watch, as Paulo's still stuck behind James, probably just looking to catch up to the leaders here.
Update, Sebastian got by Spencer, so our top four, well, roll call. So spearheading the race is Ryan, followed by Thomas, then Sebastian, followed by Spencer in fourth, and fifth is James Kemp, followed by Paulo Bettini in sixth, then a huge gap to Todd in seventh, and Sergey in eighth, Steven in ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is William Yee, who was starting next to Paulo. So, really good performance from everyone involved today.
Yes, so many overtakes. If we had a bigger team and we were counting all the overtakes, I imagine this is probably the most overtakes we've ever seen in a rental league race.
Yeah, the overtakes are incredible. We see the flag bearer getting ready to wave the white flag, so it's all going to come down to this. The next lap will be the final lap.
Yeah, and I think this is probably solidifies the fact that Paulo's streak is unfortunately
catching up to Ryan.
Unfortunately broken, but on this final lap, we're going to have a final epic battle between Thomas and Ryan. Thomas putting in absolute banger laps
Thomas
after
still
lap.
has the gap he needs to close, though.
So let's watch this race as they go down into roller coaster, the gap closing to where they're pretty much in draft range. And will this overtake happen before even the first half of the track? Because he's already pretty much able to touch his cart at this point as they go around light bulb, and it looks like Thomas is already pulling to the side a little bit, looking to maybe get an undercut.
Defensive now. Thomas has caught up, and Thomas is going to be pressuring Ryan. For my money, it's all going to come down to the second half of the track.
Yeah,
After they pass this little S-bend here, it's all about who can get the better exit down the back straight.
Yeah, it's all about that hairpin magic.
And here they go. They got to execute this perfectly. Ryan gets a good line, and so does Thomas. How are they going to play this? It looks like Ryan's going to take the defensive line, as well he should. Thomas on the outside, side by side into turn 3 for the lead of the race. And Ryan defends.
Thomas goes for the undercut.
Thomas goes for that switchback, but Ryan still has the inside. Ryan has a favorable position, but he's starting to fall back. Can he defend?
Another
Thomas?
secondary undercut,
but
but
the
that's
inside of turn 1, going through. But
that's
does he
a
leave
bad
it open?
spot.
No, he doesn't. It's going to come down to the finish, and Ryan Gowan takes the lead of the race.
He holds the defensive line. Thomas tried to execute undercut after undercut, but he just wasn't able to find that magical line to claim the lead. Paulo finishes 6th, starting 21st, going all the way up to 6th place. Probably the most overtakes he's done in a race, even considering that last battle. And there's a huge clump behind Sergey. The Sergey train still going strong. And now, with these 3 new people on the podium, a new winner of the season, and the streak broken. We'll see you there. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Finished in 3rd place today. Got out with a 79.251 by the end. Finishing 2.0 off the lead. 3rd place, Spencer Foot. Coming in 2nd place with one heck of a drive. He started dead last in the main event. Fought his way up through the LCQ a little bit as well. He ended up with the best lap time out there of a 78.065, which I believe was the fastest lap of the race. I think it's the fastest lap points as well. Coming in 2nd place, Tom Seacock. And taking that top spot. Got into the lead kind of early. Set it on cruise control after that. Got a best lap time out there, but 79.143. First win in league races, I believe. Taking 1st place, Ryan Gowan.